Hello and welcome back to our channel, Celebrity Died News. In this tribute video, we honor the American celebrities who have left us both today and in recent days. Before we begin, we'd like to ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving it a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you.
Joseph Lelyveld passes away. Former executive editor of the New York Times and Pulitzer Prize winner at 86. Joseph Lelyveld, who received the Pulitzer Prize for nonfiction in 1986 for his book Move Your Shadow, South Africa, Black and White, and served as the executive editor and foreign correspondent for the New York Times, passed away on Friday at his home in Manhattan. He was 86 and died from complications related to Parkinson's disease, as confirmed by Janny Scott, his partner of 19 years and a former Times reporter. Throughout his distinguished career, Lelyveld reported from a variety of locations, including Washington, Congo, India, Hong Kong, Johannesburg, and London. He held the position of executive editor at the Times from 1994 to 2001, a role considered one of the most significant in American journalism. During his tenure, he guided the newspaper through its transition to the digital age, launching the New York Times website and initiating 24-hour news coverage. Lelyveld retired just a week before the September 11th attacks in 2001, but returned to the top position in June 2003 following revelations of journalistic fraud and plagiarism by reporter Jason Blair. He led the newsroom for 6 weeks before Bill Keller, a columnist and former correspondent, took over as executive editor. In a statement on Friday, former publisher Arthur Sulzberger, now chairman emeritus of the New York Times Company, remarked, "Everyone knows Joe as a giant in journalism, but above all, he was a thoughtful and compassionate man who genuinely cared about his colleagues. He was an exceptional executive editor who navigated the Times through challenging times during the Internet's rise, and he returned to help mend the newsroom during a difficult period. He will be remembered for both his journalistic achievements and his humanity. I will always cherish him as my dear friend." In addition to Janny Scott, Lelyveld is survived by his 2 daughters from his marriage, Amy and Nita Lelyveld, along with a granddaughter. Speed racer actor Christian Oliver and 2 daughters, tragically killed in Caribbean plane crash. Christian Oliver, known for his roles in films like Speed Racer and Valkyrie, tragically died on Thursday alongside his 2 young daughters when their small plane crashed into the sea near a Caribbean island. The plane's owner and pilot, Robert Sachs, also lost his life in the incident. Oliver was 51 years old. Authorities reported that the single-engine aircraft took off Thursday afternoon from J.F. Mitchell Airport in Bequia, a small island part of the Caribbean nations of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Vincent and the Grenadines, and was en route to nearby St. Lucia when it encountered problems shortly after takeoff. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines police force stated the aircraft experienced difficulties and nosedived into the ocean. Local fishermen and divers from Paget Farm quickly responded to the scene to offer assistance. All 4 bodies have been recovered, officials confirmed. The investigation into the cause of the crash is ongoing. Local reports indicate that the pilot communicated with the control tower shortly after takeoff, reporting issues and his intention to return. That was the last transmission received from the plane. Oliver, originally from Germany, collaborated with Steven Soderbergh on The Good German, which starred Kate Blanchett and George Clooney. He also worked with Bryan Singer and Tom Cruise in Valkyrie and starred in the Wachowskis' Speed Racer. He was well known for his role as a detective in the German action series Alarm for Cobra 11 on RTL for 2 years. His television credits included Saved by the Bell: The New Class, and his most recent appearance was in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, released last year. Oliver had just completed filming his latest movie, Forever Hold Your Peace, alongside Bai Ling and directed by Nick Lyon, finishing his last scenes on December 20. Lyon shared a photo from the final day of filming and honored Oliver with the caption, "We talked about producing a film together for years and finally did it. Thank you for being a great colleague, actor, and friend." Walter E. Calmette passes away, film executive and longtime representative of Felix the Cat. IP at 85, Walter E. Calmette Sr., a film executive with Embassy Pictures and New World Entertainment, who also managed business affairs for Felix the Cat Productions for over 3 decades, has passed away at the age of 85. His family announced that Calmet died from heart failure on January 6th. Originally from Peru, he moved to the U.S. in 1958 and began his career in entertainment 4 years later with an entry-level position at Films Incorporated in Hollywood. During his time there, he learned the ins and outs of film sales and eventually became head of the company's L.A. office. In 1980, he joined Avco Embassy Pictures as director of non-theatrical sales and later became vice president. In 1984, Calmet transitioned to New World Entertainment as senior vice president of acquisitions, where he focused on ancillary sales, licensing, merchandising, and theatrical acquisitions on a global scale. His expertise led to a secondary role when the Oriolo family brought him on to oversee business affairs for Felix the Cat Productions, managing the beloved character's worldwide licensing and merchandising deals for more than 30 years. He is survived by his wife of 63 years, Mila, his son Walter Jr., his daughter Kira Calmet Fiola, an award specialist who founded and runs KC Fiola PR, and several grandchildren and in-laws. Gary Sinise's son, Mac, passes away from rare cancer at 33 McKenna. Mac Anthony Sinise, the musician son of actor Gary Sinise, has passed away after battling the rare spinal cancer, chordoma, as announced by the Forrest Gump star Today. Mac Sinise, who had recently finished his album Resurrection and Revival, died on January 5th following a prolonged struggle with the disease. His father shared the news on the Gary Sinise Foundation's website, writing, "The week the album went to press, Mac lost his battle with cancer. He died on January 5th, 2024, at 3:25 p.m. and was laid to rest on January 23rd. Like any family experiencing such a loss, we are heartbroken and doing our best to cope. I feel so blessed, fortunate, and proud to be his dad." Mac was diagnosed with chordoma in August 2018, just 2 months after Gary Sinise's wife, Moira, was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. What was happening? What is chordoma? I had never heard of this. And 2 cancer patients, mother and son, within 2 months of each other. It felt like a real punch in the gut, the actor reflected. Sinise explained that chordoma affects an average of only 300 individuals in the U.S. annually. In 70% of cases, the initial tumor can be removed, leading to a cure. However, in about 30% of cases, around 90 people per year, the cancer returns. While Moira's cancer went into remission, Mac underwent 2 spinal surgeries, but the chordoma reemerged by May 2019. This began a long battle that increasingly disabled him over time. Sinise wrote, "The fight against cancer became tougher, but throughout much of 2019, he was still able to come to the GSF, Gary Sinise Foundation office, until a 3rd spine surgery in November of that year. Mac Sinise joined the foundation, which supports veterans, first responders, and their families in 2017 as Assistant Manager of Education and Outreach. I was thrilled to have him on board to help with our mission," Sinise wrote. His responsibilities included managing and digitizing our Gary Sinise Foundation archive and overseeing our Education and Outreach Center, which involved hosting events, giving tours, and connecting with military service members, veterans, first responders, and families who benefited from our support. With his engaging personality, he inspired many through our Gary Sinise, a call to action exhibit, and assisted with daily activities and various events. As a father, having him at the foundation was a true gift. He was an excellent representative who cared deeply about our mission and those we serve, and I was eager to watch him grow within the organization. Mac also played drums in Gary's band, the Latin Dan Band. "As parents, losing a child is incredibly difficult," Sinise wrote. "My heart goes out to anyone who has experienced a similar loss or who has lost a loved one. We have all faced it in some way. Over the years, I've met many families of our fallen heroes. It's heartbreaking and just incredibly hard. Our family's battle with cancer lasted 5.5 years, becoming increasingly challenging as time passed. While we grieve for Mac, we find comfort in knowing he is no longer suffering and are inspired by how he managed his struggle. He fought an uphill battle against a cancer with no cure, but he never stopped trying. Mac loved movies, and we always told him he reminded us of the soldier at the end of the extraordinary film, in 1917, running through a battlefield with bombs going off around him, getting knocked down but always getting back up and refusing to quit. In a note accompanying Sinice's post, the foundation mentioned, "At this time, Gary and the family have not requested anything. They expressed that all the kind words and prayers have been incredibly uplifting. Some individuals have chosen to contribute to either the Cordoma Foundation or the Gary Sinise Foundation. We ensure that the Sinise family is updated about any donations made in honor of Mac. They are very grateful for your prayers and support."